It is time for another edition of Litter Media Live, a special edition because coming up soon, a special day, talking about the start of the Ross County Fair. And with us in studio today, we have two guests that are going to tell you all about the FTO at Zane Trace. They've got a big booth. We'll give you details in just a moment. But first, let me tell you about Litter Quality Propane. 92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. Litter Quality Propane. I'm Dan Ramey, and to my immediate left here is a warhorse, Kevin Prickett. And Kelley Detillion is also with us. So good to have you here. Thank you for coming in. It is fair time. And there is one particular place that's close to the, is it the Sheep Building, right across the street from you folks?
We're right next to the 4-H building.
And next to the 4-H. Your next door neighbor is the 4-H building. Slide up to that microphone a little closer there and tell us about what you can from the fair. I know years run together, but you've been there for a long time.
Yeah, a couple of years. The sausage booth is what we're aiming at, if you will. It's sponsored by Zane Trace, and it's a booster organization that makes money for the school in many ways. And the sausage booth started out in 1962 as a tent, and that tent had sawdust on the floor, and a gentleman and his wife named Ramey and Evelyn Montgomery are kind of the ones that started it, got the idea and so forth, and they went to the school, and the school agreed that they should, try to pursue that, and they put a booth out to the fairgrounds, and they started frying sausage. Mm-hmm. And as I understand it, they contacted Bob Evans, and he agreed to allow them to use his product. It was one of the first fairs in the state to do that. As far as that goes, and he came down and gave him lessons on how to properly prepare his sausage, and it's been that way for the last 64 years, I guess.
And that's been handed down, I'm sure.
Yes,
so a number of folks who have worked in.
Yes, so there's countless number of people have been in charge through the years, and countless number of people have worked there in the booth. It's pretty much open from bright and early Saturday before the fair now. It used to be a little later, but now Saturday before the fair until the Sunday morning after the fair is over, and they provide food and drink for the people that go to the fair, and it's at an economical cost that people can afford it, and it's a family-oriented thing, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, generations now,
right,
over the years. Now, Kevin and I are closer to age to when this all started, but Kelley, you're not, and you kind of were born into this, weren't you?
Right. Yeah. When my dad came to Zane Trace, he was the principal and then went on to be the superintendent, and he just back in the 90s, maybe beforehand, the more he was involved, the more he took off with it. And whenever he got a hold of something, he wasn't happy with just doing something at ground level. He did it 300 times what it should have been. So we all chipped in, and we would help out. He would start probably in June, preparing, getting bags of ice done, cleaning, taking inventory, what needed to be done. He would make a list for his list, get workers. That was the main thing. Teachers is the big bulk of the workers, shifts. And he would always introduce different items. I think the more recent item, maybe in the last 15 or 20 years for breakfast, was the biscuits and gravy. He didn't think it would be a hit, and I think it's one of the more popular items for the breakfast. So
it's made to go with sausage, right?
Yes, it is.
More of a complete meal. Now, her dad was Pete Dunkel, and of course, anytime we were around Pete, he provided some type of food, and it didn't have to be in the booth. But here at the booth, this is used as really a gathering place, but also a way to raise money for the school there at Zane Trace.
Correct. There's an addition onto the booth. I don't know how long ago it was done, but it's picnic tables. It's screened in. It's for anyone at the fair that wants to go in and have a seat and enjoy something to eat or drink. It doesn't have to be necessarily from the Zane Trace booth. It can be from any of the booths. And, you can get off your feet, get out of the sun, and sit, it's the back part of the sausage booth. So, yeah, he would sometimes feed the fair board members, and it would be any combination of anything from lasagna to fried cabbage, you name it. I mean, that's just what he liked to do. It wasn't like necessarily food that we had in the booth for sale. It was stuff that he would just go to Sam's Club or just have, from his garden. And that was, one of the things that he enjoyed doing.
Yeah, it is great to have people like that. And has that been handed down? Anybody else in the Dunkel family continue to do so?
We all help. We take the Monday shift, and this year we'll be open from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. So, come out and see us. Yeah,
absolutely. Whenever we have the Ross County Fair, it is a huge family reunion because some people you haven't seen since the last ball game, in that regard. But some, you haven't seen them since the last fair. So having a spot like the Zane Trace sausage booth is a place to go. Right. You're welcome by it anyway. Why not stop in, right? Right. Yeah. We talked about a family reunion. You recently had a reunion with Corky's Raiders, which has been a long-time staple for 50 years now. Give us an update on Corky's Raiders. We've been watching some of this on Facebook, and it's been great to see faces that we haven't seen for a while.
Sure. We're a Zane Trace organization, if you will. We started in 1975, just a bunch of guys sitting together at ball games and raising cane and so forth and cheering and all that. And somebody started calling us Corky's Raiders, and we've been together ever since. We have a little clubhouse, if you will, that we started holding court in 1979. It's owned by the Holdren family, and they were gracious enough to allow us to be in there. And we've been in that building since '79, and we get together, half a dozen, 8 times a year. And we used to do a lot of things involving the school. We're all supporters of the school, and we have the Tuesday evening shift. We've had that for many years at the fairgrounds, at the sausage booth, and people come back from far and near to work at that. And we just celebrated our 50th year a 3 weeks ago and had a big blowout out to the house. And we do a community type thing. We bring, anybody can come, and we had the egg toss and the balloon toss and, the wiffle ball game, and then fireworks at 10 o'clock. And then we had the band played at 4:30 or 5, something like that. And just had a great time. And we just spent last week a couple of nights at the Hocking Hills at a lodge. And we've been golfing, and we're going to an Indians game. We went to a Reds game earlier. We're going to an Indians game later on. And just a great time. And, it all goes back to school. Mr. Dunkel, he came in 1974, which had been my freshman year as principal, and he was my principal through high school, and then later on became superintendent. And then after he retired, he never left, which they say that about me too, I guess, but not quite in the same essence as him. But and if it wasn't for Pete Dunkel, there wouldn't be much of a sausage booth, because he's the one that kept it going for many years. And there's nobody can fill those shoes up, but there's a lot of people that are trying to fit in there and do what he did, and it's all good. So.
Yeah, learning along the way. That's certainly. Right. It kind of gets under your skin, and then you become part of the Zane Trace family, don't you?
Yep. Kelley alluded to the building we built on a few years ago with the screened-in porch. The tent thing, I can't honestly say that I remember it. I was 3 in '62, and but I'm sure it was a neat place. They had like a grill set up or whatever, and just a big, I don't know what kind of tent it even was, but in '66, they went to the fair board and said, hey, we'd like to build a permanent building, and they allowed that to happen. So the permanent building has been there since '66, and it's been added on to about 3 times since then. The last time with the outdoor, the screened-in seating where you can sit in there and cool off and whatever, and a lot of people take advantage of that during the hot days of the fair. But sounds like this fair is going to be cooler, which is good. So
we hope that the prognosticators are correct on that too.
Right.
Kelley, how are you involved with the schools these days?
My daughter just graduated last year, so while she was, in grade school all the way up through middle school, we were involved in lots of aspects of the school. My husband, he does some fill-in announcing for different ball games. He helps with the football press box. He helps with anything like with volleyball as far as the score, clock. I make the Pioneer sauce for the football games. It goes on the Pioneer burger, and we are featuring that this year at the fair for the first time. So it's a cheeseburger with iceberg lettuce, as cold as it can be, and then this sauce, as cold as it can be, on the sandwich, and it gets... it's made to order, so we don't fix this in advance. It's when the person orders it, we make it up. And it's an excellent sandwich. We have it for all the home football games, and occasionally we will do it for a basketball game.
Is it a secret sauce?
Well, it's not really. There's no measuring going on. I made it for, I don't know, maybe 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Very nice. Well, you want to make sure you get out to not only to the fair this week, coming week, but also to a ball game so you can experience the sauce on there. Is there anything that we have missed you wanted to make sure people knew about?
Kelley wants to give some information out as far as we're always looking for people to help out in the booth and work shifts. And the shifts aren't that long. And really, you don't even have to work the whole shift. You can only work an hour or two here or there. That's greatly appreciated. But Kelley's got some information on that to give you. And
yeah, if anyone, has, a couple of hours to spare, the person in charge of the FTO that's organizing the shifts this year her name is Megan Jean, and her phone number is 740-701-5508. And just some things that the FTO, what the money goes towards, the security screen clings that are over the windows at Zane Trace. They've paid for that. They pay for science fair awards, field trips, several scholarships. I think back in the day it was called the PTO scholarship. I received one. Last year, my daughter received one. She's working the booth this year. So, if you've got kids in Zane Trace, K through 12, it's your time. Come on in. It's a little bit of work. That's okay, though. You'll see people that you've not seen in a long time. It's fun. You're stationed in one spot, inside that booth, and it's amazing the people that you'll see pass through. It's not really, it's a good time working in there. Other things that they have done also is they've purchased books. And that's just a few of the things that the money goes towards. We are a nonprofit booth at the fair. I think we're maybe one of 4 booths, I want to say, if that. Most of the booths there it's for profit. It's a family that's, that's what they're doing, to make, money. This is all nonprofit. It goes towards the school and towards the kids.
Yeah. And the name change, it went from parent teacher organization to family teacher organization.
Correct.
So when you see FTO, we didn't want that to throw you off in any fashion.
Right.
Yeah. How long has it been FTO?
I'm not for sure.
yeah, probably 3 years. Something like that. I don't know for sure.
It just got past me. That's why I wondered if it recently changed or if it has changed in the last few years. So when you get out to the Ross County Fairgrounds and you see that, it's not your eyesight. It is an F, not a P anymore. So thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us today. It's been cool catching up here this morning, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Kevin Prickett and Kelley Detillion here on this special edition of Litter Media Live.